In the house, Basil Hallward stood in front of the portrait of Dorian Gray. "It's finished," he said. He wrote his name in the corner of the picture. Lord Henry studied the picture carefully. "Yes," he said, "it's your best work. It's excellent. Mr. Gray, come and look at yourself." Dorian looked at the picture for a long time. He smiled as he saw the beautiful face in front of him, and for a moment he felt happy. But then he remembered Lord Henry's words. "How long," he thought, "will I look like the picture? Time will steal my beauty from me. I will grow old, but the picture will always be young." And his heart grew cold with fear. "Don't you like it, Dorian?" asked Basil at last. "Of course he likes it," said Lord Henry. "It's a very fine work of art. I'd like to buy it myself." "It's not mine to sell, Harry. The picture is Dorian's." "I wish," cried Dorian suddenly, "I wish that I could always stay young and that the picture could grow old." Lord Henry laughed. "I don't think you would like that, Basil. Would you?" "No, I wouldn't like it at all," agreed Basil with a smile. Dorian turned, his face red and angry. "Yes, you like your art better than your friends," he said to Basil. "How long will you like me? Only while I am beautiful, I suppose." "Lord Henry is right. That is the most important thing in the world. Oh, why did you paint this picture? Why should it stay young while I grow old? I wish the picture could change, and I could stay as I am. I would give anything, yes, anything for that." He hid his face in his hands. "Dorian, Dorian," said Basil unhappily, "don't talk like that. You're my dearest friend." He turned to Lord Henry. "What have you been teaching him?" he asked angrily. "Why didn't you go away when I asked you?" Lord Henry smiled. "It's the real Dorian Gray, that's all." Basil turned and walked quickly over the portrait. "It's my best work, but now I hate it. I will destroy it now, before it destroys our friendship." He picked up a long knife, but Dorian was there before him. "No, Basil, don't. You can't destroy it. That would be murder." "Sure," said Basil coldly. "You've decided that you like the portrait after all." "Like it," said Dorian. "I'm in love with it. I cannot live without it." Later, during tea, Lord Henry invited Basil and Dorian to go with him to the theatre that night. Basil refused, but Dorian was happy to accept. "Stay and have dinner with me, Dorian," said Basil, but no, Dorian preferred to go to the theatre with Lord Henry. As the door closed behind Dorian and Lord Henry, Basil turned back to the picture. "I shall stay here with the real Dorian Gray," he said sadly to himself. The next morning Lord Henry went to visit his aunt, Lady Agatha. She was surprised to see him. "I thought that you fashionable young man never got up until the afternoon," she said. "Ah, but my dear aunt, I need some information, you see," replied Lord Henry. "I met Dorian Gray yesterday, and I'd like to know more about him." "Oh, he's Lord Kelso's grandson," said Lady Agatha. "His mother was Lady Margaret de Berusse, a very beautiful woman. She ran away from home to marry a poor soldier. He was killed a few months later, and she died soon after her son was born. She was a lovely woman. Dorian Gray has her beauty, and he will, I understand, have his grandfather's money. He is agreed, Lord Henry, extraordinarily good-looking. Come to lunch," invited his aunt. "Dorian Gray will be here, and you can meet him again." "I love to come," smiled Lord Henry. As he left, Lord Henry thought about this sad story. He became more interested than ever in this beautiful young man, Dorian Gray. He remembered the night before, when Dorian had watched him with his bright blue eyes, half wondering, half afraid. He does not yet know himself, thought Lord Henry, with a smile. But I can teach him. Yes, I can influence him in any way that I please. I will teach him to discover the fire of youth, and love, and life. The conversation among the fashionable people at Lady Agatha's lunch was quick and clever. Lord Henry talked in his lazy and mousing way, and knew that Dorian Gray was watching and listening. After a while the conversation turned to a friend's plans to marry an American girl. Why can't these American women stay in their own country? They're always telling us it's a paradise for women, said Lord Bardon. It is, said Lord Henry. That's the reason why they're so happy to escape from it. They say, laughed the man next to Lady Agatha, that when good Americans die, they go to Paris. Really? And where do bad Americans go to when they die? Asked Lady Agatha. They go to America, said Lord Henry. People smiled, and the conversation moved on to other things. Lord Henry took ideas and played with them. He gave them wings, and they flew like brightly colored birds around the room. People laughed and smiled, and told him that he should be more serious, but Dorian Gray never took his eyes away from Lord Henry. After lunch, Lord Henry said that he was going to depart, and as he left the room, Dorian Gray touched his arm. "May I come with you?" he asked. "But I thought you'd promised to go and see Basil Hallward," Lord Henry replied. "Yes, but I prefer to come with you. Please let me," said Dorian. "I want to listen to you talking. Nobody speaks as well as you do." "Ah, I've talked enough for today," Lord Henry smiled. "But you may come with me if you want to."